All right, in this video, I'm going to go over finding the x and y intercepts of a function. What is an intercept? Well, it's where the function intersects an axis, meaning where it hits those one of these two lines, either the y-axis or the x-axis. So when you see the word intercept in math, think intersection, intersection, not intercept football, which is usually where my mind goes to, but that's a different discussion. Now, not all functions will have x and y intercepts. They usually have at least one. Actually, most functions have at least one, yeah. But lines always have one of each. They always intersect the x-axis or the y-axis. Or you could say the y-axis is a line because it does go on forever in both directions. It only intersects the x-axis once. But it, doesn't really have a y-intercept because it is the y-axis. Now, sorry for confusing you with that. Side note. But just think about it for a minute. How we go about finding those points, those ordered pairs that go along with these intercepts that I'm talking about. How would we find them? Well, can't on this one because we have no scale. I'm just drawing it. But we do know half of the problem. If there's a point on this line on the x-axis, there's one constant thing about this x-axis that we know of, and that is the fact that y is 0. For sure. Isn't that right? Because y, if you have a positive number for your y ordered pair, you go up, and if you have a negative number, you go down. But if you're at 0, you don't go up or down, you just stay there. And you're on the x-axis. So when we want the x-intercept, y equals 0. Now, for the y-intercept, guess what? X equals 0. Because you don't go right or left, you just stay on that line. Now, let's actually do a problem. Let's get y equals 3/4 x minus 5/4. Now, we want the x-intercept. We set y equal to 0, so we get this is 0, right? So 0 equals 3/4 x minus 5/4. So now we have to solve for x. So we have to do some good old-fashioned algebra. So the first thing we do is add 5/4 to both sides. You can't, well, you shouldn't multiply both sides by 4/3 because, well, you'll get just a mess over here, and the math is a little more difficult, and anything multiplied by 0 will just be 0, so you really wouldn't have done anything. You're just trying to get these numbers over to the left side so that x will be all alone. So negative 5/4 plus 5/4 is 0, right? So that cancels out. 0 plus 5/4 is 5/4. That is the easiest math I will do all day. Now, to get rid of 3/4, we're not trying to get 0. We're trying to get 1. Because 1 times x was x. We don't want to get rid of the x. So we multiply it by the reciprocal of that fraction. Do not freak out when you see fractions, because it's just division, you know, multiplication and division, it's fine. Just kind of ignore the x and just multiply 3/4 times 4/3. You'll realize that 4 is in the numerator and there's a 4 in the denominator. Those cancel out because 4 divided by 4 is 1. And we got this 3 right there. That cancels out. And we have 1. So 1 times x, or just x. Now we got to multiply the other side by 4/3 as well. Don't forget that part. That's very important, because thou shalt do unto one side of the equation what thou doest to the other. One of the 10 Commandments of math. Now, 4/3 times 5/4. Well, again, 4/4, that cancels out. And we're just left with 5/3, right? No need to make that a decimal. Now, are we done? We found x. No, not even close to being done. This is our y-intercept, right? No, this is our x-intercept. X-intercept. So we need the ordered pair 5/3, 0. That is half the problem, because we also need the y-intercept, where x equals 0. So that is just one pair. That is the x-intercept. So now we do the y-intercept. Separate our work here. For the y-intercept, x equals 0. So we do y equals 3/4 x times 0, because we're substituting 0 in for x there. Anything times 0 is 0, so y equals -5/4. Well, that was pretty easy. Still not done yet. Ordered pair 0 for x, right? -5/4. Now we're done. Not too difficult, but this is a simpler function. In later videos, we're going to get into the crazy stuff so far. All right, I'll do one more problem, and that'll be the end of this video. It's because that's how I roll here. I like to do more than one example for everything, at least. Not much difference between this and the last example, but practice makes perfect. So, what do we want to find first? X-intercept, y-intercept, doesn't matter which one we find first. We just know that for the x-intercept, y equals 0, and for the y-intercept, x equals 0. Let's do y equals 0. Get the more complicated stuff done first. All right, so we need to solve for x, we need to isolate x. So what do? We get rid of this first. Subtract 3 from both sides. -3 equals -3/4 x. That's a 0, so it's -3/4 x plus 0, but you knew that. Now, multiply both sides by -4/3. Got to multiply by the reciprocal of this because we want to get rid of it, right? That is a 4, not a y. Ugh. And that cancels out to give you 1, and double negative gives you a positive. And don't forget, multiply both sides by -4/3. Remember, there's an understood 1. Everything's a fraction. It's 3/1. So x equals, it doesn't matter if the x is on the left or the right. You should still get the same answer. But -4/3 times -3, well, 3's cancel. So we're just left with +4, because there's a double negative there, positive. So our x-intercept is 4, 0. That's only half the battle. Now we got the rest of it. For the y-intercept, x is 0. This is a lot easier than the x-intercept, isn't it? -3/4 and times 0, anything times 0 is just 0. Y equals 3. So if y equals 3, and we know that x equals 0, then that is our y-intercept. There you have it. Thank you for watching.